have a question.
All right.
I think I already asked you. I know you brought when you were sharing your stories, you're using a lot of the buzzwords. I can understand.
Share our stories regarding what?
Can you come
to the front and take the mic so everybody can hear your question?
So, my son who is 9 years old, he had a question. So different, when you were explaining the different stages of your business, right? So one of the key words we're using, one is differentiation, incubation, evaluation, hackathon, right? So all those things. And second thing, once you have an idea, what do I do next? Can you address us as if you are like 8 years old?
Okay. I'll let you describe hackathon, but valuation, when you hear people talk about that, it's basically the value of your company as a whole as a specific thing. So like if you hear people talking about Facebook having a $100 billion valuation, it'd be if you were to buy the entire company, that's how much it would cost you. In terms of taking the idea, the stages that it was, basically how I do it is even to discover the idea. You just kind of see what's causing people problems or pain points in an area. Something that, even if you yourself, which is the best ideas, that's where you get the best of the ideas from, is if you have a hard time with something. So like with my company, I noticed every single time I was using some Nest or something else, it would turn it up to 78 degrees of heat at night. That is too hot. So it's some of those problems that started to cultivate my idea for Bmatic. Once you have the idea, you just kind of lay down a plan, lay down a strategy. It does not have to be perfect. In fact, it will probably change. So just lay down whatever you think is the best strategy. Just start so that you can go ahead and start working, because the entire entrepreneurship path is a learning process. After you lay down your strategy, of course, then you actually try to execute it. Most of the strategies should start with something such as, you develop a prototype, which is just a very rough version of it. For people who are perfectionists like me, that's kind of hard to do, but just do something that someone else can have and go, that's what it's about, just handing it to them. That's a prototype. From there, use a lot of their feedback to create basically what I call an alpha, or it's basically your first marketable product. That's the first thing that you could actually get money from, is when they call it a first marketable product. That's so that you can show people real actual revenue and income from it, and show people that it does actually have an opportunity in the market, someone's bought it from you. From there, you have two decisions. You can pretty much decide to have it venture-backed, which is basically meaning someone else gives you cash to then test the business model and scale it up. Or you also can do the bootstrap method, which basically means you and your family using the income that you've already gotten or from your family's monies to be able to then try to grow it from there. And then pretty much it gets a little more hazy past that for every other company, but that's the definition of that, and then I'll let you add on.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you brought that up. Really quick, I kind of want to go like what a hackathon is, because you asked, it's an overnight competition, and like we throw them for different companies. Basically, they like the prompt would be, hey, like this is our problem, and we need a solution. And what the people who come to the hackathon do is they brainstorm an idea within a few hours, and they come up with a solution, and they have to make a prototype and then pitch it all within a 24-hour span, which is really cool. You're coming up with something legitimate, and like you said, a prototype. That's the first step, and then you iterate from there. I mean, as far as if you're a 9-year-old and you're trying to come up with an idea, I think like a good place to start is, you want to talk it out with people, but you also want to partner with people who are like going to take you seriously, and people who can bring your idea to light. You want to make the right connections with the people who are going to make that happen.